Conquering Mouse Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here with a new series today called Why Seam Wednesday. Yay! It's Why Seam Wednesday. This is where I'm going to show you a bunch of beautiful blocks that you can make and improve how you piece a Y seam. Now we're going to show you, a couple of different techniques, and we're going to play around with some beautiful blocks in this series. So, yes, you can always avoid a Y seam, but this one's designed to help you master that Y seam. So this one's a lot of fun. Now, we're also kicking this one off with the most requested Y seam block is the hexagon quilt, or the grandmother's flower garden. Now I hand sewed this and hand pieced it and hand quilted it, but I'm going to show you how to do a larger version of it in our, you're going to find the PDF in our template for the templates to cut and work with. I did a larger version for you, so it's a little simpler to do. Now I use the So Easy laser cut precision hexagons to work with things. You can't see this thing anywhere. Yeah, okay. But, and I'm going to link this one in the show notes below if you want to buy this one. But you can do this just with the templates, the PDF I have for you in the show notes. Now you got to get to those show notes, because the show notes is going to tell you where all the other stuff is going on, right? So our shout out today is Wendy Haney. Now her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below. She is doing some beautiful quilting stuff, and she's just having fun over in her channel. So you guys go check her out, send her some encouragement and love, and tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. I'm sure she will appreciate the hugs and the likes and all the rest of the stuff. And comment on these videos too, because they help our analytics, right, and help push us forward so people like you can find us, right? So that's always fun. Now, first off, I speak for free. So my speaking engagements, I am booking out now until 2025. But I do speaking engagements for free over Zoom, right, for quilting guilds and quilting groups. So if you need somebody to talk to you or your group about working with their scraps and, elements of design and playing around with color and charity quilts, please put my name forward to your program director or your, the people in charge, and we'll see if we can't get a speaking engagement set up for you guys. Because I think that I have met so many amazing quilters through those speaking engagements and had the opportunity to chat with them, and we just had a lovely time. Okay, next up is the community round robin is going strong. Those blocks are beautiful. I'm seeing all sorts of those blocks coming up in my Facebook feed. I am just so thrilled you guys are jumping on that bandwagon and having a good time with this community round robin. The other three content creators, YouTube content creators I was working with were so much fun. It was amazing working with Michelle from Bits and Pieces, Kelley from Kelley's Quilts and Cruises, and Future Cat from New Zealand. We just had a blast. We just had a blast. And there was no egos. It was just fun and giggling, and let's do this and let's do that. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful group to work with. Now mine started on July 9th, and I kick off that block, and you'll find in the show notes below, you gotta get in those show notes, all the schedules as to when they're coming out, or when mine dropped in the past, or when Future Cats dropped in the past, right? So you can go hunting and searching for them, right? But there's also going to be links for those people too, so you can go to their channel and make sure that, if you're taking patterns from them, that you're subscribing to them as well. I think that would be, that would be nice, a way to say thank you to them, right? Now also our Facebook group is growing rapidly. We're a warm, wonderful, welcoming group. We have a virtual sewing room set up for the Facebook group people on Discord, and it's working well, and the ladies are having a great time in there. I'm overblown at how nice everybody has been. We have several community chats. We do fabric exchanges by country. We do, finding free patterns. We post, all the links to those free patterns that we find all over the internet. It's all sorts of fun. Also, you're going to find in there is the Zoom sew dates that we set up once a month for everybody on YouTube. Now, that's a day, it starts at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and it's a day where you get to come and sew and just have a blast and have fun. I have fun. I get lots done that day. We do show and tells. We find out what people are working on. We just have a great time all day long. So it's fun. It's just a wonderful way of meeting other people, and don't necessarily bring the stuff I have put out. You can bring out what's inspiring you. That's important. And if you don't feel like sewing that day, you want to bring your crocheting, bring it. It's great fun to hang out. Now, also, Nikki from the Ruffled Purse has asked me to participate in Conquer Your Fabric Scrap Summit. Now, that summit is coming August 15th to August 18th. And that summit is free for those days. Now, I'm going to start posting affiliate links in our videos, right, so that you can sign up for that summit. Now, if you need something after the 18th of August, because let's say you're out of town on holidays or whatever, you now have to pay. But it is free from August 15th to August 18th, right? So, and Nikki asked me to do a couple of videos, so I'm going to be posting them here after the summit is completely finished. So you'll at least be able to see what I put up as a content creator in that summit, right, for free. So, anyways, I think that's it. Yes, come on in. Let's get to this fun sewing with the Y seams. Okay, we're at the sewing machine here. Now this is an easy sew product, and it's laser cut for precision. And this template set has 8 hexagons in it, from like everything from 3 inches to, I think it's like 3/4 of an inch. Like, are really tiny, some of these things. And they're really well. Now, these sets have little holes. Now, these little holes will help you. Like, what I found them really useful. Once I cut my piece, I flipped it over, and I lined it up, and I drew holes with pencil, and then from that point to point, I was able to pretty much hand sew all of this without too much issue, right? I mean, we're not hand sewing this, we're machine sewing, and what I find with machines is it's easier to sew a 3-inch hexie, right? That means it's 3 inches from point to point, like this little point to this little point. I don't know if you can even see these little points that I put on here. No, maybe not. Not focusing. Oh, come on. No. Anyways, there's points here and here and here, like all the way around, right? So this is how I did this. Now, you can draw lines if you want, but this is not the way I did it. So I'm just going to put this, like, you have the PDFs to make your own templates, but when you're making your templates, keep in mind that 1/4 inch in from both directions, and that's where you need to make a little dot, right? So if you were doing it from a template, you would draw your template and then take your ruler and then just draw your X, and your X would give you the spot, like, you know, 1/4 inch in this way. Here, I'll show you. 1/4 inch in this way. Let's do it this way. Okay, so 1/4 inch in from here. So you draw your line here and here, and then 1/4 inch here and here. Oops. So there, and you would just draw it in like that, and you would keep going around all the block, and now you have a little X marks the spot. You can see that X right there, right? I mean, that's another way of doing it. If you're going to do a template, that's the best way to do it. Okay, so now there are several ways of doing this. There's several ways of attacking this, and we're going to try. I'm going to put all the, I want all the straight grain on the outside, because I think that will help stabilize the block a bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we could do this a couple of different ways. I'm just going to sew this one first. Oops, I'm going to put this together. And I'm going to sew with the white side down, because when I put marks on the black side, I could hardly see them. Now, I don't have my 1/4 inch foot on, because I could see this line much better. If I can see with this foot better, so I want the best visibility I can get. So I'm just going to go sew right across, and then I'm going to sew, let's see, 2 of these together, just like so. Just like that. And we're going point to point, right? Just point to point. We're just moving along. And there we go. Now, I haven't really shortened my stitch length or anything like this, but I could. Now I'm going to sew. See, this one goes here. These go here. Yes, these go here. Those, yeah, those go here. And this one will go over here. So I'm going to do this one last and get some stuff joined up. So there we go. Now this looks complicated, but it's not. I know, you guys are sitting there going, oh no, there's simpler ways of doing this. Yes, there is. But if you fussy cut, let's say you were fussy cutting your motifs, right? Then you would want, okay, that's got the straight grain on the inside, so this is a straight grain. So you would want, if you were fussy cutting, you wouldn't want to be doing half squares or anything else like that. You would be wanting to do full squares. So this is what we've got so far. And now we have to start putting these together. This, right? So you can see, can you see all of that? Okay, I'll move this over just a hair and maybe you see it better. Okay, so the first thing we got to do, okay, we got to go put these two together and then pivot, do these two, pivot, do these two, and then these two, right? That sounds simple enough. You know, we got a couple of pivots in there. We're good, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to line up from the other end because that's not going to work. Okay, there we go. Wait a minute. Oh, this goes this way. So this would go this way. Now, you want... Oh, dear. Hey, hang on. I'm confused. Hang on. It's this way. You want the bigger piece on top, right? Because this is going to show you where you pivot, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to open up this seam, just like so. And you could pin this if you want. You know, you could pin this in place as to where you need to sew all of this. And you're going to open up this bottom seam. This seam here. And I'm going to get the other one opened up right away too. Now, most people, what they do is they would press this open. But I'm leaving that up to you. That's entirely up to you whether you want to do that or not. Okay, so now we start. And we are, I'm going to grab a pin, if I can find one quickly. Yes, I can. Just because we have several places to look at. So we want to stop here, right in the center. So you got about 1/4 inch down from the edge, and 1/4 inch down from that edge. And you hold it there, just like that. Okay, you hold it in place. Now we go back to this. Now we're going to sew from here to here. Now both of this, where is this? Both of this is a bias, right? And what we want to do, we just want to go through. Okay. And you want to make sure everything is coming together. Now when you're doing that, when you're coming up on that, you're going to come up on that needle very quickly. So pull the needle out there, and now you pivot and adjust, right? Because your needle, your sewing needle now is right where that intersects. So now you're going to lift your foot up. Your needle is in the down position. You're going to lift your foot up, and you're going to pivot this spot. Why does that not look right? No, that does not look right at all. Oh my goodness. What have I done? Oh dear. What have I done? What have I done? Okay, I think I sewed it wrong. Yes, I did. I sewed it wrong. This should have been here. So instead of me sewing this side to this side, I should have sewed these two sides together. So we'll get back to this. Just a sec. Just a sec. I'm sorry about that. But you know what? I pulled my thread out without any issue because I was able to get to the bottom thread. So I'm just going to go, and you can check to make sure you hit your pencil point on the other side, right? If you're not sure, and you just want to smoosh it into position. Okay, and we're gonna do this again. Sorry about all that. I hope I didn't confuse too many of you. It's been a long time since I did one of these. It was like, oh dear gosh. It's easier to do them by hand. Okay, so now I pull my pin out for now, and I got my needle, sewing needle, dropped down, and we'll just clean up all this extra thread here that we didn't need. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to pivot the top and the bottom. The bottom goes this way, and this goes this way. Okay, and I'm going to try and make that as flat as I can. Right, but I don't want to roughhouse it too much. Now you can also put a pin. I have little marks here where this, okay, I'm gonna line this as best I can. Come on, come on. Sometimes you have to talk to it and your tongue has to be exactly in the right spot or else nobody cooperates. Okay, there we go, we got it. I hope. So now we've got this, and we're going to go right to that pin mark, and we want to make sure this seam underneath stays open, right? So that's important. And you want to go right to where that little mark is, and drop your needle, pull your pin, right? And take this and pivot. This one's going this way to your next seam. What we're doing, and of course it's not cooperating. Let me get a little tweezers here. Hang on. Let me get this little tweezer. Sometimes it's nice to have tweezers beside you, and sometimes when it's not pivoting the way you need it to, it's a good idea just to have them, and then you can kind of make this work a little better, and things aren't getting in the way. There we go. So I just have a quick, these ones are they're super sharp, so I can use them almost as a stiletto if I needed to. So now I'm going to put my needle down a 1/4 inch right in the seam, and I'm going to push this needle right through that dot on the other side, right? And get it secured. Okay, put my foot down and proceed to sew. Okay. Okay, and we're dropping our needle right in the middle of that. And we gotta go just a half more. There we go. Okay, so now that needle is dropped in the right spot. We're going to lift up our thing, our foot. Again, this is why you want a foot where you can see. If you had a plastic clear foot, this would be the time to pull it out. Now you want to put the dot on one side and the dot on the other side. You want to match them up the best you can. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. All right. Now have I got everything lying flat? Yes, I do. Okay. There we go. And we're going to sew right off the edge. There, we did it. Get our plug and cut our scissor off. So now we've got this just lying perfect. Let me do a quick little finger press smushing out on here, because some of this might not be too happy to be this way, because I did have a little bit of, I don't want to lie flat. Why would I lie flat? So I'm just pressing open as I go around here, right? And that helps also, you know, if there's any little puckers. I doubt if there's going to be any little puckers, but there we go. So we just make sure it's opened up flat. Okay, so now, here we go. There we go. Now, this is where we're at. Now, I don't want to give this a good press until I'm finished what I'm doing. So this gets put this way. And I want the bigger piece on the bottom. So I'm going to start here, just like so. Right? Now, I'm going to get where's my pen? Ah, I lost my little green pen. Okay, so right through, you want to go 1/4 inch down, and that's about there. Oops. You want to do the same thing all over again. And you want it about there. That's probably a 1/4 inch. And you check on the back. Yes, we perfectly hit that 1/4 inch mark. And now we align everything. We take our time, align it all up. This beautiful rose fabric. I have so much of this. I think it was a donation, and I think somebody was making a blouse, and I ended up with it. Oh, I'm going to get rid of this because this is just in the way now. Okay, so here we go. All right. Now, as you get closer, you want to just creep along and even hand turn. There we go. That's number 1. Okay, that's the first seam. Now, with your needle down, pivot around. And I should probably have those sharps. Where are they? They're right there. Okay. I'm going to have these sharps here just in case things aren't going my way. Because I need everything underneath there to lie flat. This needs to lie flat. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to find my hole. I'm going to find my 1/4 inch. There we go. Right through the center of that seam. Line it up. Oops. Line it up. Oh no, it's wobbling all over the place. Hang on. Let me go. Let me go. There it is. It doesn't want to cooperate sometimes. That's okay. That's okay. There we go. Nice. And it's even lying nice and flat up at that corner there. That's good. Okay, so here we go. Again, we're going to go right up to that pin. Now, we stop a little bit shy, and we make sure that bottom seam is not flicking on us. There we go, or right there beside that pin. Perfect. Now, we want to make sure we get this pivoted around in the right spot. And yes, we have to pull our tweezers out. That's fine if we have to do that. I got those tweezers, where was it? I can't remember where I got them. I got a set of them, and wow, every one of them is sharp, perfectly pointed, just really nice to work with. Okay. Oops, I missed. Huh? I missed. This is why the 3-inch ones are easier to machine sew. I missed it again. What? It moved. Okay, ouch. Okay, there we go. Now I got my finger. Okay, no blood, we're good. Okay, now, what we're gonna do, everything is lined up here, nice. And everything's just almost lined up perfect here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Drop it again. Okay, last seam out to the edge. Okay, oops, now, what I'm gonna do here with this. Oh yeah, sometimes it just doesn't want to turn nice. Okay, so here, these two match up. If I can get these two to match up, normally I can just, give it a gentle wiggle, and everything else will match up perfectly after that. So I'm just gonna do this. There we go. And I'm gonna wiggle the middle, because sometimes that's the middle that's giving you problems. So you want to wiggle a bit. There we go. Ooh, all of a sudden, everything fell nice and flat. Okay, let's get this on. Okay, we want to go right off the edge. There, perfect. Perfect. Now, okay. Again, we'll look from the back side first so you can see what I did. So now we're just going to press open all these seams, and we're going to take an iron and press them open, right? So they do all lie as flat as possible. You guys can see this all open. When you're doing English paper piecing, if you're doing this by hand or by English paper piecing, you would open them all your seams up, right? Because then your work would lie flatter. And this one has not opened. It needs to open. There we go. Press open. And because you're working with bias, don't be too rough with it. I mean, you don't want this stretching too much. And there is your first hexie block of many that you need to do to make the quilt behind me in the thumbnail. Okay, let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so here's your template. I know that it's kind of a pale template there, but don't worry about it. There's a 2-inch hexie, a 2.5, and a 3-inch. Now, the 3-inch hexie, right, is a 3-inch finished hexie, but it measures 3.5 or a bit out, across, right, the top. Now, this is quite a bit bigger than this. I used a 2-inch hexie for these, and once you go smaller than a 3-inch hexie, they're easier to sew by hand than they are like by sewing machine, right? So this is, I mean, if you do this, you don't need many blocks to make a quilt. And it's surprising how fast this would come together in this scale. So that's kind of this is what I'm saying. I'm giving you the pattern, but we showed you a bigger block so that it would work easier for you on your sewing machine. Now, like I say, if we come up with more hexies in this series, because I haven't completed the full lesson plan yet, we will be working from this template, and this template will be made available for you again in that video. So this is, like I say, I pull out these a lot, so I don't know if it's worth it for you. It depends on how much you like doing hexies. You know, it's entirely up to you. I have used this. It was a good value for my money. So, like I say, it's like 20 something on Amazon, I believe. I'm not sure. I will put a link in what it is. Again, it's a So Easy hexagon templates, right? So, but anyways, I do hope you give this a try. This was a lot of fun, and you know, it's okay if your stuff goes a little off kilter and it's not quite, it's not quite perfect, and it's, you can have a lot of fun with fussy cutting too with hexies, right? You can get some very large scale prints like this and make them blend all together, and that I didn't bother because I have lots of this, but nothing big enough to make like a mosaic, or kind of like a round, where all the pieces look like this and they would form a pattern. But I'm kind of happy with this one. This one's kind of cute. What I'll do is I'll applique this onto a block, and I'll put this one into a charity quilt, because I'm not going to make this another one, because this was a lot of work by doing it by hand, but it was fun, and it was for my husband, so I enjoyed it very much. So I do hope you give it a try, and that you don't feel pressure, like you're learning. So if these aren't coming out perfect, remember, you're learning. Don't be too hard on yourself. You get better. With more of it you do, the better you get at it. So I hope you stay well and everything's going your way in your sewing room and in your life, okay? You take care until we meet each other again. Bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!